What's going on, guys? It's the 75th edition of the Chronicles of Podcast. After a week off, we hope that, we hope you've missed us. If you haven't, it's fine, I understand. But we're back. And I believe, Jamie, that these right here are the Chronicles of Beyond Extinction.
Oh, yeah, they are, boys.
Wonderful. Well, let's get started.
Hey, honey bunny, it's Rivka Reyes.
This is Ron Wasserman, the nut that wrote Go-Go Power Rangers.
It's Boba Fett here.
This is Molly Rennick from Living Dead Girl.
It's WWE superstar legend Davey Boy Smith's daughter, Georgia Smith.
Hi, I'm Jude. I play guitar.
Hi, my name is Zach. I play...
Hi, I'm Niall. I play drums in Beyond Extinction.
And you're what?
Chronicles of Podcast
with Tom and Jamie.
So the older you get, the cooler you get.
There's nothing worse than wet socks. Nothing worse. Nothing worse than... I mean, there's probably a lot of things worse. It's like dying.
Oh, I'm sensing something in the room. Yes, it's your bullshit, Derek. Shut the fuck up. Hello, everybody. We are back for the 75th edition of the Chronicles of Podcast. And... are the Chronicles of Beyond Extinction. It is I, the bearded Brummy Jamie, and joining me, as always, is this handsome bugger right here.
That's from Tom. For those of you, I imagine, because the microphone, I don't think the microphone picked it up properly. That was the American national anthem, wasn't it?
It was. I was going to go theme with this week's band, and then I couldn't quite work out how to do a deathcore these in a high-pitched tone.
Well, yeah, I suppose.
I think it would be something like that.
Would have been, yeah. I'd imagine it. Yes, of course. You are obviously in reference to the fact that we were off last week because I was in the old US of A.
Indeed, were, sir.
Cracking week, Jamie. I didn't want to come home. I'm not going to lie to you.
I'm not surprised.
It was one of those, it was really surreal. The most surrealist thing, I think, was obviously taking off at 9 a.m. for about a 7.5 to 8 hour flight and landing at midday was the weirdest. But it's, because my watch, because there's obviously no internet in the sky, my watch was at like 5 p.m. UK time, and as soon as the wheels touched the ground, it was like midday. It's like, oh wait, hang on, but hang on, have I got back in time, or is what's going on here?
Time travel.
It was so weird, dude. So when we got to Monday Night Raw, the Monday night, like we'd been awake. By the time that finished, we'd been awake for 25 hours.
Oh,
excuse me. So it was pretty brutal. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty brutal. So like we adapted to American time, and now we're back. We're like knackered, just absolutely knackered. It's like, I think it was about 4 p.m. yesterday to watch TV, and I was like, what's going on? It's so odd. But it was weird because I woke up at, I think it was like 6 or 7 a.m. yesterday, and today I woke up at 11:30 in the morning, and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
It was weird because you were away, and I was like, oh, I need to text Tom. I was like, I can't. It's actually like 3 a.m. there. I'll wait till later.
I know you could then, because obviously I turn my notifications off between midnight and 7. So
no, it's just built into me to not send messages in the middle of the night, and it was just a weird moment. I was like, oh shit, he's not awake yet. Why haven't you seen this? Because he's asleep. It's still in the morning, middle of the night.
Yeah, it was weird. Waking up to like 84 messages, like what the shit. But obviously most of it was work. But yeah, it was just nuts, man. It was the greatest time. It was the fucking greatest time. I had so much fun, and obviously met former guest Noel McNeil on the last night for dinner, and we shared a dessert. That was kind of cute. All three of us.
Dessert with Bear.
Yeah, and Keris, of course. We had a French brownie between us. It was really nice. It was incredible, man. It was it felt like we do all the time.
Yeah.
It was just odd. It was great. I loved every second. It was so nice to see him and meet him in person and just like chat for 3 odd hours. Then we walked him to a subway and he left. Yeah, it was, dude. Just it was incredible, man. Like, obviously, I posted some photos earlier today on the old socials of people that. So that's not even like a quarter of the photos that we took.
I can only imagine.
It was just gone.
I was gonna say, as you were in America, did you get any? Oh my god, is that a British accent?
No.
Ah.
I did, however. I bought myself some Air Jordans as a treat. So. Oh my god, they're so comfortable. $130 from Champs in Times Square, and it was so funny because when we went to buy them, the lady, the cashier, was like, "So where are y'all from?" And I was just like, "Oh, from Wales," and she went, "Oh," as if to say, "The fuck is that?"
I don't know where that is.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, it's next to England." She's like, "Oh, right near London." I'm like, no, other side. That's it. Americans are London, and that's it.
Pretty much. Although, if you compare how far things away from in America and they count it as nothing, it probably is right next to London for them in their travels, the way they work things out.
I remember getting mistaken for an Australian. That was great.
Still don't get that. How does that even happen?
That was so much fun. But Jamie, while I was away, I had a thought, which was, do you feel like Uber Eats is the DFS of the food delivery service?
What?
Because I get emails probably 2, 3 times, 4 times a week. Be like, okay. You've not used your discount yet. You've not used your discount yet. Tom, you've not used your discount yet.
Could you imagine if DFS had done that? You haven't brought a sofa today. You didn't buy it. You didn't buy a sofa yesterday. Would you like to buy one today?
What's really funny is the email says it ends soon, but I get them every week, and I've got them every week for about 4 months. Your discount is ending soon. Yeah, it's ending soon. Make sure you use your discount. Bye, Tom. You haven't used your discount yet. I know we mailed you 2 years ago, but you still haven't used it. Use it.
But you can guarantee when you want to use a discount code, that's when you don't have one. That always happens to me. It's
expired.
Yeah. Every time. When I go to order, we're like, oh, we got that discount code, find it. Expired yesterday. Motherfucker.
May be used in Bahrain. What? It's just some random T's and C's on there.
There really is. I was like, you think it's like, hi, I have this discount code. Oh, great. Look at eligible restaurants for it. Oh, so I can order from this one place.
Yeah, right. Norwich.
That's shit.
I found that Specsavers used to do this thing on their website. So something called an OCT scan where it takes photos behind your eyes, etc. And on the website, it'd be like, here's a £10 voucher. But it wasn't a voucher. It was just telling you that it was 10 quid for the scan because it's 10 quid anyway. And I was like, oh, I've got this voucher. Like, that's not a voucher. But yeah, it's like, it definitely isn't. It's just telling you it's a tenner. So we then had to make out that it was more expensive normally. Oh, yeah, for a tenner. Yeah, of course.
You just face lie to them.
Yeah, that was obviously the marketing ploy, isn't it? Just lie to them. Just tell them it's 30 quid normally. Fuck it.
But do they do it at the eye test? I bet they do it at the eye test as well, don't they? You always get a £10 eye test at Specsavers.
Do you?
Oh, we used to get them all the time. Here's a voucher. You haven't had an eye test in a while. Have one for £10.
Oh, we never got that. We never did it in Cardiff.
No.
They're not linked, are they? They're not linked to their franchise, so they're owned by different people. So it's obviously whatever they want to do in that area.
Birmingham likes a £10 eye test, clearly.
It is one of the poorer cities.
Second city, I'll have you know.
I am joking. See what else I found really weird. So obviously, whilst I was in New York City, I found it really weird that you can buy merch for the public services, but not here.
Hold on, what?
So you can get like NYPD like hoodies and shirts and FDNY, like fire department and stuff like that. You can just buy police. That's
so weird.
Not the uniform, obviously, but I mean, you can just buy merch that's like got their logo on and stuff. And you're like, that's odd.
It's very odd.
Yeah, could you imagine someone walking around here with like a paramedic jacket on, like? Oh man, I've lost my leg. I'm not real paramedic, sorry. I just like the jacket.
What brand are you wearing? NHS.
Yeah. So it's like you doing it with your fake firefighter shit.
Hey, not fake. I'm a real firefighter. I can press a button. I still don't know why we have to wear a firefighter outfit to press a button. It's the shittest cosplay ever, but it's great. I don't care.
Is it because of the helicopter propellers? So that's why you wear a helmet.
It's because if the helicopter does crash and there is flames, you're going to get burned. You're pretty close to it. But it just feels weird that you got to dress up like a firefighter to literally stand there and press a button. That is all we can do. We can't tackle the fire.
You've just explained that it's to protect you.
Yeah, but I just thought of that on the spot, to be honest. I might not.
To be fair, though, it's quite logical. So
it makes sense. Yeah. See, I am logical. Hey, Brummies are stupid and poor. Right?
I never did say you were stupid.
Well, that myself, I did.
The other thing that I was thinking of really randomly was who decided, there's probably a real logical explanation for this and a scientific one that's been explained, but I just thought for the fun and shits and gigs of it, I just bring it up anyway. Who got lazy and went, yeah, January can have 31 days, yeah, March, yeah, perfect. February, I can't be fucking arsed. Give it 28. Do you know what? I can't be fucked those last 3 days.
Apart from when we get every 4 years, we'll give him we'll throw him a cheeky extra one.
It's such a random thing to do. June, like, you know what? Give some 31, but give some 30. I just can't be fucking arsed to give them 31. It'd be a bit weird if everyone had 31 days every single month. It's a bit long, isn't it? People want to get paid properly.
I don't get that. What is it that? There's got to be a reason for it, let's be honest. They're more probably something to do with fucking farming back in the day or something. But
the sun's got a bit slower. Give February an extra day. But I only do it every 4 years. It only slows down every 4 years. So give it an extra day.
We're feeling a little bit sorry for it. Give it another one. Go on.
How are you anyway, James? How have you been?
I'm good. My weekend, my time away has not been as exciting as yours, obviously, because, I stayed in Birmingham. I didn't go to another country. But I did go to a gig, so that was amazing. I finally got to cash in my Christmas present, and I went to Youngblood, and fuck me, it was good. Like, I can see by that face you're not a fan, but I like his music. I was a fan of his music, but it was something about him. I find him really captivating. And honestly, it was one of the best experiences of going to a gig I've ever seen or had in my entire life. That man he had the entire crowd eating out of his hands by doing nothing, just singing his songs. But the whole crowd, everyone there just resonate to him, and the things he says is bonkers. Never known anything like it. I don't even know how to describe it. It was absolutely amazing. And was it all the 16-year-olds that were loving it? Is that what it was? That's the thing. That's what me and my mate Matt, because Becky's been really ill, so she didn't come with me in the end. I went with my mate Matt. And we were on the way there, and we were like, oh, God, we're going to feel so fucking old when we get here, aren't we? There was people in their 50s, in their 60s, on their own, not bringing their kids with them, actually just there to enjoy it. There was a wide variety of ages. It was nuts, and everyone was so into it. It was absolutely amazing. Like, I've never seen anyone just have a crowd. So I kept saying to someone, he's like the voice of this generation that's coming up now. The music is not the same, but it's punk. It has that mentality of no, we are the youth. This is what we believe in. Fuck the government. Fuck everyone else. This is what we want, and this is how we're going to live our life. He did an amazing speech at the end of it, all about trans rights. Fuck the Tories. He got the entire crowd chanted "fuck Sunak," and it was just everyone was into it. It was nuts. Like, I actually think he could have gone, come on, everybody, drink the Kool-Aid, and they would have done it. Like, it was absolutely bonkers. Honestly, one of the best gigs I've ever been to, and I didn't expect it. When I went there, I was just like, oh, this would be fun. I quite like Youngblood. Didn't expect to walk out, just been like absolutely baffled by it. Me and Matt, we had goosebumps, the things he was saying, like the reactions he was getting to it. Yeah, if anyone has chance to go see him on this tour, I know it's go, because it is phenomenal. And I got to see Neckbeat, who supported. I'd never heard of them. I'd never heard them before. Heard of them. I knew they were like pop punk, generic pop punk. They're fun. They're like really fun. I enjoyed watching them. I don't know if you've heard them before, but
did they play All in Bloom?
Possibly. I didn't really know.
Which is the best song they've ever done.
Probably.
So
they probably
that in December.
They did do December. That one stood out because I really liked that one.
Yeah. They did it with Mark Hoppus as well. That's the better version than the original. And Gold Steps is another song I quite like by them as well from their first album, I think it is. I'm not a massive fan, but In Bloom, I think it's called, is like my favorite song they've ever done. It's just really catchy.
They were really good. It was like, we're from Wrexham. I was like, well, I didn't expect that, but there we are. But yeah, that was absolutely amazing night. Really good time. Really enjoyed it. But I know what you really want to know, Tom. I know what you've been sat in there in New York and the way time of your life you've been thinking to yourself, I wonder how Jamie's getting on with 24. And I tell you something, I'm on season 6, episode 21.
What
I've
fucking hell?
flown through this series. And I want not blown away by it.
It's the weakest season.
It's the weakest. But the story, the main story of they've got these new suitcase bombs and all this stuff, the Russians, and I love the fact they don't actually say what country fired's from. It's just the Middle East guys.
They never do. Yeah. They never say what, yeah.
Which I respect, to be honest, fair play. That story is great. Why is there so many subplots? Like, Jesus, there's so many.
Yeah.
Like, them two guys in the White House trying to kill the president. And then there's this, and there's the vice president's having an affair. And the vice president's trying to nuke this other country. And I was like, oh my God, I can't keep up. There's so many fucking subplots.
Were you happy with the president?
I didn't expect it at all. I was like, what the fuck why are you here? You're not your brother. But, and how did you go from writing your brother's memoirs to being president within 2 years? That's weird. But no, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. Obviously, I'm at the minute now where suddenly the Chinese are here. I was like, what? Just fill this whole series with the one story like you did before. Yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying it, but it's just weird.
It's fine. Just let it be what it is, right? Yeah. Because you're about to hit another unbelievable set. So basically, what happened after 6, the ratings dropped massively, and everyone went, "Fuck, we're losing people." So 7 is back to being fucking insane, like 5 is.
Good.
That's why I said 5 and 7 are my favorite 2 series ever. Because 7, I'm excited as fuck to hear what you have to say after the first episode.
But season 6 has given me another character that I very much love. Morris.
Oh,
I love Morris.
His sarcasm is wonderful.
His sarcasm, his accent, it's just everything about him. I love him so much. Just like, don't worry, darling. I love him. He's amazing.
And he's Chloe's husband, which makes it even better.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. He's great. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Don't get me wrong, I've not once had an episode finish and gone, that's shit. I've enjoyed every episode. It's just so many subplots. It's annoying me.
Yeah, 6 is the weakest series. So
yeah.
Get through these next 4 episodes and then...
Why is Audrey catatonic now? What the fuck? Yeah, weird, but enjoyed it. Enjoyed it, just weird. I feel like I'm sounding like I'm not enjoying it, but I am, honest.
Well, good. I'm pleased to hear it. As we all know, I was in the old New York City last week. I was in the US of A. And then Monday we landed, we got to the hotel, and then went to Brooklyn Bridge for sunset. Incredible. Saw the Statue of Liberty in the distance as well. So we were like, well, we've done that. We don't worry, I'm going on the ferry. We can't be fucked. I was like, so there's the Statue of Liberty. Clip. Cheers. Then see you later. Bye, everyone. What I find really annoying in America is there's so many people like, do you want to buy this? Do you want to come to this? Do you want to buy that? Do you want to buy that? Do you want to do this? Why do you come here? Why do you come to me? A lot of them are scammers. Anyway, mainly in Times Square. So in Times Square, you have to walk. Just walk. Just don't look at anyone, boys. Don't look at anybody at all. I'm the next biggest rapper, don't you know? Yeah, bollocks, are you? So, and then they try and sell you CDs for $40. It's like, CDs? Really?
$40 for a CD?
Yeah, and then they hound you and everything. They circle you and everything like pricks.
Just give me a Spotify link, mate. Luckily,
it never happened to us. Sorry, because literally since I was like, fuck off. And they're like, okay. And Gareth's just like, you don't have to be so mean, you know. I'm like, no, I will. If I don't want somebody around me, I will let them know I don't want them around me. So Monday, obviously, went to Brooklyn Bridge, then went to Monday Night Raw. Fucking amazing at the Barclays Center. That was a massive highlight straight away. First big night. But like I said, I've been away for 25 hours. I went to get the subway back because it was so far out. And there was this like just some weird characters. It was safe enough. It was fine. There's some weird characters on there. There's a homeless guy. He was obviously off his face, drunk, passed out, but he had his jacket like that. It's like, what are you concealing? Probably a bottle, but it could have been a gun. Who knows? Tuesday, I'll give you a nice quick rundown. Just, otherwise we're going to be here for fucking hours. Like, welcome to the longest show of all time. Well, they've released it and they're still talking. What's going on? Tuesday. Tuesday we got up really early every day. We went to Andrew's Diner because it's been recommended. Oh my God, Jamie, unreal. There's nothing more amazing as well than going to an American diner because NFL's on all the time. They literally had ESPN and I was like, this is fantastic, this. All the coffee I could drink.
Oh, of course,
all the coffee I could drink.
Refills and shit.
And just blueberry pancakes, but they were like 3 and they were huge and they had syrup. Comes in like little packets. So we get ketchup and mayonnaise at like McDonald's and stuff. Yeah, there's syrup. I was like, more syrup, please. More syrup, please. Lovely jubbly. So with Andrews, and we went walking. I can't remember where we went Tuesday, but we had a pedicab tour at 1 p.m. 12:30.
It's a pedicab.
It's a pedicab. It's literally someone that cycles, and you have a big little cab behind for 2 people to sit on. And we did that for Central Park. Nice. Central Park attractions, they're called. We had Barry, legend of the highest order, just the funniest, most knowledgeable, interesting person I've ever spoken to in my life. And he kept making black jokes. He's a black guy, and he kept being like, he was like, oh, how many brothers and sisters do you have to care? She's like, oh, I've only got the one sister, small family, etc. And he turned to me, and I was like, well, I've got 7 brothers and sisters, and then there's all our nephews and nieces. And he went, my God, Tom, is your dad black? That's a lot of people. That's a lot of kids out there. We have so many. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. But he shows where John Lennon got shot. He showed us the most expensive buildings in New York City. There was like an apartment that some lady, she's passed away now, had signed over to a dog, and it's worth like $238 million. And it's like, it has to be in benefit of the dog and everything. Like, they can't just like splash their money around. Mental. That's
a way to go out in the world if you've got money. I'm not donating it to anyone or giving it to anyone. It's the dogs.
Yeah. And it's, I think in the will it says, if any money is to be spent, it must be in benefit of the dog.
Legend.
Fucking incredible. And then we went to see the Iconia, also known as the Belmont Hotel, for only murders in the building. But straight away we're not allowed in. And I was like, for fuck's sake. So we got photos from the doorway. Sounds a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. Wednesday, we went to NBC Studios where Jimmy Fallon is filmed to get tickets. But unfortunately, we couldn't hang around because we had to go to the summit for 10 a.m. and they're open at 10 a.m. So like, shit. Yeah, never mind. It is what it is. We walked on NBC Studios for a bit, which is really cool. There's like merch and stuff, and you can have tours and everything of NBC. And it was round. It's literally next to Radio City.
Basic Musical. I saw that in your pictures.
Excuse me, sorry, I got a bad cough. So we went to NBC, saw Radio City, and then we went. Where did we go after that? Oh, to the summit, which is where I took all the photos of the skyline and everything from Empire State, and I put it and then there's that video of me with the clouds, like.
That video's amazing.
That was absolutely nuts. It's so great up there, though. But it's funny because it was like 6 rooms, 2 rooms each floor. But I don't think people really knew that because we didn't know that because everybody stayed on the first floor in the first room for fucking ages, taking shitloads of photos. Because we took loads of photos and I was like, oh, is this it? Is this all it is? I was like, that's a bit weird for $30, whatever it was per person. So it's a bit expensive for one room. Walked out into a room which full of loads of helium balls. I was like, oh, this is cool. They're like balls all across the ceiling and balls all across the floor.
That's awesome.
Obviously, there were kids there just like booting them at people and that sort of thing, going like loving it. But it was great. And I tried to do a boomerang right through a ball in the air to recatch it, but we didn't get it to work. Because one of me like I'm talking out, but I'm just holding the ball. It's really funny. So that was great. So we got all the skyline, and then we saw the Sex and the City apartment, the Friends apartment, and fuck. We did other things on Wednesday. My brain, Ghostbusters, so much happened. I was just like, yeah. And we saw the Ghostbusters Hook and Ladder 5 department where I bought your T-shirt from, which is
should be to get that.
this is recorded on Monday, so this will be with you tomorrow, but you would have already had it for 3 days by the time that you receive it. So you're very, very welcome. Very welcome. The last one as well. So we saw Hook and Ladder 8 when we went back. Where did we? I don't know if we went for dinner. Oh, we got Tuesday. I forgot about we went to Broadway and watched Chicago.
Fuck, you forget that?
Went on Broadway, saw Chicago. Keris was in her element, but everybody went mental for this drag queen, Jinx Monsoon, winner of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 5. And like,
oh, okay.
I'm not gonna lie, hilarious, like so funny. Because I was not sure what to expect. Excuse me. And there was a bit where they were singing about class or something, and like it went really quiet, and then out of nowhere they just went, Jesus Christ, and it made me really piss myself laughing because the way it was delivered was great, but it also scared the shit out of the person that was singing alongside, and it was absolutely hilarious. Great though. That was I mean, I got a big fucking raised pizza. The pizza slices are like huge. Oh. You have to hold it and fold it in half to eat. Incredible. Oh. Yeah, we did so much, man. We went to Chelsea Market on Thursday. Went to HBO Studios and got picked out of HBO Studios because I thought it'd be like NBC.
Yeah.
So he was at HBO, and the guy went, "Can I help you, sir?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I suppose have a little look around." He goes, "Lovely. You can look around from outside. See you later." And I was like, "Thanks, prick." Yeah, Americans are in it.
You can look around.
So they get that little security badge. They get a fucking. I think they've got a hunk, aren't they? Like a fucking 10-incher. So I was just like, "No, I'm good." And we just left. So I got to see a big fuck off Last of Us sign there, though. So I was like, "Oh, I guess that's cool." Saw CBS Studios. We saw, you know how they have the news people, but it's by the windows, and they're like doing their show with the window. We saw some of those as well. Like ABC 7 at the window, like. It was great. It's going to be a really long intro. I'm so sorry, guys. There's a moment as well on the very first day that NBC were filming in Times Square, and there was security everywhere. They were doing like Valentine's Day, they were doing the Valentine's stuff.
Of course.
And the security guard had a Steelers hat and Steelers gloves on. And he went, "Hey man, stay cozy, yeah?" And I was like, "Absolutely. Stay cozy.com. Use the Chronicles to get 10% off." And I noticed that he had Steelers gloves on the hat, and I was like, "And a Steelers gloves as well." So I fist bumped him. This NYPD security guy. I was like, "Yeah,
that's amazing."
It was so cool. And then Friday we did a load of shopping, just getting ready to go home. Really. But when we got to the airport, Jamie, they'd oversold the flight by 20 people.
How is that?
Which meant they had because profit, isn't it? That's all they care about. Oh, we've accidentally oversold the flight. Shit. So they were like, "We're offering $1,000 per person, 20 people, mind, to volunteer to come off the plane." Nobody moved. So it's like, as the evening went on, because I was there going, "I'm going fucking home. I don't give a shit. I'm not staying here. I'm going home." It got to the point where it got to 3 people left, and they were offering $4,500. And me and Keris were like, "Should we? Should we?" It's like, that's $9,000. Like, we only came here with 2. Should we take 9? I would take 9. But obviously, I know. Oh no, I do regret it now. But it's just one of those things, isn't it? I'm not joking though. We were desperate when we got back. We were like, "Oh, thank God, home, the real time." Because obviously we gained 5 hours again. So then we left at 8. Well, we left at 8:40 due to delays, and. It was like a 6-hour flight or 5.5 hours, 6 hours, and landed at 9 in the morning. I was like, "What the?
That's so weird.
What the fuck?" But like I said, jet lag's been absolutely kicking my ass, but it was the best week ever. Like, it was so needed. It was a break, but it wasn't really like a chill.
No.
So, American TV's mental as well. Like, absolutely nuts. Yeah. Watching Let's Make a Deal, Wayne Brady, and there's people dressed as like grapes and fruit bowls and a nurse, and it was just really weird.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was just so mental, dude. But best time, greatest time. So glad I did it. Meeting Noel for dinner Thursday night, that was absolutely incredible. So I had dinner with Bear in the Big Blue House, former guest, who will hopefully be making a return to the show soon. Also talk about his memoirs. Yeah, it's just the greatest week, and I'm just happy to be back now, settling back in, gutted to be going back to work tomorrow. But it is what it is. We got interviews for the Racer's Edge this week. It's going to be a great week. I just talked a lot. I'm so sorry.
Nothing to apologise for. You had an amazing week. It's good to hear what you've been up to. But
I appreciate that.
Like you said, I've missed doing this. Like this past week, I've just been, I want to fucking record something. I've really missed it. So all day I've been like, yes, we're recording tonight. We're recording tonight. I'm
it's
all day. So
what do you guys think of the new revamp? The new revamped lovely.
Welcome to our revamp. We look all beautiful.
Are you voguing?
A little bit of voguing. But no, this is what I've been doing while you've been away as well. I've just been working on getting all this, making it look sexy. So you people that like to enjoy us on the YouTube, enjoy. I hope you like.
Yeah, thank you for subscribing. All you people that have subscribed recently, 176 now, James.
Ooh,
we're going. We're climbing, yeah. We are climbing. I like it. So I appreciate every single one of you. So You Can Fly, Braden Barry released his brand new single Marigold last Friday. So please get that in your ears. The brand new album is out at the end of March. So you've only got a month left. Go to staycozyclothing.com, enter that little Chronicles fucking discount code we have, literally like this. And you'll get 10% off because this brand new album on vinyl is on Stay Cozy Clothing. So go and grab that now while stocks last.
Speaking of that little discount code and all that little spiel you just did there, should we hear it from the man himself?
Yeah, we should probably let Braden do, shouldn't we? Come on, mate. Come on.
All right. Is this thing on?
Well, howdy doody, everybody. This is Braden Barry from Say We Can Fly, founder of Stay Cozy Clothing, your one-stop shop for the coziest, most fashionable hoodies, t-shirts, and more.
Gosh, Mickey.
That's right, folks. And we're proud to say that we are now sponsoring
the Chronicles of Podcast. Ouch.
Hosted by Tom and Jamie.
Like, you can get 10% off, man.
That's right, Shaggy. Just use the special code, The Chronicles, at checkout.
Oh, boy.
Still, the greatest advert ever made.
That's bloody Lulu.
I do what is get that discount code, The Chronicles, in, get yourself 10% off. Jamie?
Yes, sir.
So time for Callum's Treachings.
Yeah, it is.
Do you want to know something? Callum will be able to tell you in Callum's Treachings.
Is cereal soup?
Ooh.
Your boy is back to preach the nation. So, Jamie, without further ado, what is Callum treating us this week?
The older you get, the less you care about being cool, which in essence is what being cool is. So the older you get, the cooler you get.
Yes, I knew it.
It's quite spot on. Language these days now, when it's like gassed and peak and whatever the fuck the kid. Like, so I don't understand. Like, I don't know. I think clap's one now. Not clap. Is it clap?
I don't know. I'm not down with the street kids.
No, am I?
The things they say are.
Working with the people I work with, obviously they're all like younger than me, and they do that, and I'm like, I have no fucking clue what you just said. But that's like, but I'm not down with the kids anymore. But I'm like, but I'm not asked. I don't want to be down. I don't want to be talking like a fucking moron. So yeah. So in a way, it's like we're cool without realizing it.
Yeah, it's like the cool kids, like, yeah, whatever, and then we're just like, yeah, whatever. You're talking bollocks, mate. I don't
give a shit. Yeah.
Cool by default by being old and grumpy. Yes.
It's wonderful. That's a really good way to look at it, actually.
I like it. You're not cool, Grandad. I think you'll find I fucking am.
I'll tell you what, though. When I was, funny enough, when I was away, there was a shop. There was like a cane shop, like, you know, walking sticks, canes, but they had like devils on top and gargoyles and stuff they could hold on to. I literally went, those are some cool canes right there.
Kind of want a walking cane now.
I'm not going to lie. I actually did go. I'm quite tempted. But will it actually fuck up how I walk?
Probably. But you we have a look like a pimp or a Bond villain, so it's fine.
Oh, definitely the first one.
Wow. Yes,
that'd be so cool. Remember easy, right? That's what I don't know why. I just thought, look, suave, I suppose.
Oh, good word. Good one.
I'm not a monocle prick. I don't want to become one of them people. Well, Quentin told me all about the caviar he had from Lincoln. And I was like, Lincoln? Where are you, Jewish? So, I mean, so just, again, those really toffee-nosed fucking Tory conversations that no one has a fucking clue what they're talking about. And everyone's like, yes, might as well have just had caviar on Ipswich, you imbecile. Sorry. I don't know. I think that's a good way to. That's a good analogy to live by.
I like it.
Not being cool, not realizing it, and not really giving a fuck that we are, but we are.
Yeah, because we're cool.
Yeah. Absolutely. Anyway, let's move on. What else is Callum Treachings?
Provided there's a hose nearby, stepping in dog poo is better barefoot than it is in shoes.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you know there's a hose, because you could wash it straight off. Yeah, this is the thing, right? When people go, you're wearing shorts, it's raining. It's like, because my legs will just dry.
Yeah, your jeans, you're going to stay wet and then...
Exactly. And there's nothing fucking worse. There's nothing worse than wet socks. Nothing worse. Nothing worse. I mean, there's probably a lot of things worse. It's like dying. But wet socks are absolutely atrocious. So, so when people are like, I wear shorts, I fucking press it down. I'm like, because my legs will dry. It's fine.
I don't know what really tickled me. Well, there is, like dying.
Yeah, well, it's true, isn't it? No one wants to die. But then again, Callum, good, I'm pleased. While you're getting yourself together, who's leaving dog shit on the floor? You naughty people. Yeah. I can't stand them, I have a mackerel, a massive fucking shit, perfect. I'm not going to pick that up anyway, who does that? But do you reckon dogs are there going, what is wrong with you?
Why are you not getting your master to pick that up? You should be disgusted with yourself, Dave.
I mean, if dogs start getting bags and going to the toilet, I'll be fucking,
It'd be amazing.
I'm quite worried, to be honest with you.
Do you mind, Karen? I'm using the facilities. Woof.
I would love it if dogs started using... There's a cat, isn't there, that can use the toilet?
Yes,
I swear I've seen a video, yeah. Mental. How do you teach your cats are fucking not as clever as dogs, so I better be careful what I say, or the cat lovers out there, sorry. Yeah.
The cat ladies will come after you.
Well, I live with one. But... I know that if I ever suck dog shit, I would want it to be Beth. I mean, could you imagine how much it will squelch through your toes as well? I
think I want to wear shoes now. As soon as you mention it's squelching toes, I think I want to wear shoes.
There's a great story here, right? So years and years and years ago, I had a best friend who doesn't speak to me anymore because his then missus didn't like me and he stopped talking. Whatever, who cares? Anyway, he was a labourer with his dad. His dad's a labourer, and he was like, they were building a house, I think, or whatever, and he was like, "Can you smell shit?" And my mate's like, "No, why?" He's like, "Really smell shit? But where the fuck is that coming from? I can't see any." So he's like checking his clothes, his shoes, like looking around. He's like, "This is..." Anyway, gets on with the day. Hour later, look, I'm not joking to you, son. I can still smell shit. And he went, "Yeah, it's because it's under your nose and your your mustache there."
How?
So he's obviously wiped his ass or something, and then obviously scratched his face.
Oh. Hold on. He was asking his son this question for an hour.
Yeah, he could smell shit.
Any sooner?
Well, he obviously didn't notice. It was literally right there in his philtrum in his mouth. Hilarious. That is so funny.
Good word, philtrum. Ooh, I like it. But
that's what it's called.
No, no.
It's from that advert, isn't it? Was it Nestle or Nescafe?
I remember that advert, yeah. I can't remember what it's for. But
it was like in a massive auditorium. She's like, "What's the bit between my mouth and my nose called?" And he's like, "That's your philtrum, darling. You want to go... You want to fuck off back to whatever poor school you came from." Literally, she was proper like, "What? Right, proper come now." And he was just like, "Darling, let me tell you right now, it's actually called your philtrum, okay? Now, do you mind fucking off?"
You only ever hear it called your philtrum during when someone wants to spout a random fact or some bollocks. No one ever just calls it your philtrum.
Yeah. It's like the bit between your ass and your ball sack. What's that called? That's called your gooch.
Yeah, it's not your perineum, it's your gooch, mate.
Yeah. Is it a perineum, is it? I don't actually know that.
Perineum is the correct term, yes.
Learning with Jamie. To the fucking segment. Welcome to Learning with Jamie.
I know what skin by your arsehole's called.
Anyway, Callum, I definitely want to be barefoot. Definitely, 100%.
I did until you said squelching between your toes, and now I want to wear my shoes.
I would much rather have it squelched between toes and go, oh, hose, wash, wash, wash. Awesome. Carry on with my day.
Clean my shoes, rub it in some grass or something. Just.
Yeah, but it's not going to get all of that, is it? You leave the part of the puticles and the
you've destroyed me in between the toes.
Let's move on then, Jamie. And finally, what else is Callum teaching us this quick?
Being alone in an abandoned building is scary, but thinking you're alone in an abandoned building is even scarier.
Is it though? Because I'll be honest, I never ever think about it.
I'm the opposite. If I thought I was on my own, I'd be all right. It's the fact that I think there's people that I don't know are there that freaks me the fuck out.
I remember being a kid, and there was I lived on an RAF base back in the day because my dad was in the RAF, and there was a massive, massive fuck off field and a random house in the middle. Just a random house. I mean, my friends used to be like, we used to go right up to the door and be like, I can't go in. I can't go in. Can you go in? No, I can't go in. But every day we'd be like, Joe, we should do it today. And we'd always get to the door and go, yeah, I can't do it. I can't go in.
What if there's someone in there? It's been abandoned for 100 years, but there might be someone in there. No.
It's like there's I watched a Daddy episode on the flight. John Oliver, for those people that don't know who I refer to as Daddy. And from season 6, he talks about psychics. And it's fantastic. I highly recommend season 6, episode 2 to watch. I know there's people that believe in stuff, but he's like, it was great because he's like, oh, there's people that believe in it and all that sort of stuff and everything else. I'm not here to say that it's not wrong and it's not right or whatever. And he goes, but it's bullshit. You know, when they have those detectors, this detects when there's a presence in the room. Oh, yeah. And then it goes like, oh, I was like, oh, there's somebody here. I reckon it's got to be the cameraman or something behind it that goes like, you've let me on again, you fucking idiot.
I don't know why. I thought you were going to say it's probably the cameraman by the microphone going, making the machine. All
that. But it's like, why can't you tell me what the lottery is going to be then? Why can't you tell me, who killed this person? Oh, no, we can't do that. I bet you fucking can't.
Did they say that on a single episode of those Derek Acora type programs? See a ghost? No. I'm sensing something in the room. Yes, it's your bullshit, Derek. Shut the fuck up. I hate us.
It begins with a K. J-M-L. There was again from the same episode. He shows this guy in an Irish pub, and he's like, I'm getting a sense of Kevin McCaldrick, McKinney, and because I've got all these Irish names, everyone's going there going, nope. So good. Anyway, that's not. I just don't believe in that sort of shit. It's not, and that's my opinion. That's how I feel about it. I'm not trying to tarnish the psychic community. People that do believe in it, that's entirely your thing. But it's all bullshit.
But if you do, then you would have seen that rant coming. So move on.
Exactly. But I think I'd be more scared being in the building than I would thinking about it, because thinking about it, I know that I'm not there. If that makes sense? Or is it a dream sort of scenario?
I don't know.
Because if I think about being in an abandoned building on my own, I'm like, yeah, it's scary, but the worst thing would be, because when I watch scary films, I have a tactic that I use. So I don't jump much anyway. When I know there's a bit coming, because you can tell by the music, I always do this.
I look down.
Yeah. So I look down, but I keep it like I'm still looking at the screen. So it's like I'll just look down or look out, and I'll glance quickly to make sure what's going on. I'll look around. I just can look around, but I don't like. I keep my head very still. It's like, yeah. So I'm just going to look around.
Am I the weird one that hears that and goes, "This is a bit I need to pay attention to"?
What?
And Like if I know something scary's happened, instead of looking away, I'm like, I need to pay attention to this bit. This bit is important.
So that's how you do it.
Someone's gonna die. That's how you do it.
Not for me.
Let me make a note.
Yeah. How to decapitate someone with a horse. Lovely.
Do I like that idea? Nah.
I wonder how that. Oh, dude. Like. And that was another edition of Callum's Treachings. That's a god awful joke. You've got to live with that. You know it's going to be ingrained in the world forever, and you've got to live. You've got to live with that.
Yeah, I was almost going to say, hopefully, I won't do it too badly, and it'll be in a stable condition. But I went with nay.
Dear me. Shall we get to the next section, Jamie?
Yeah, sorry.
Nothing to apologise for. It's just time for Tom's Journal.
Yeah.
And welcome to another edition of Tom's Journal. So, Steve Irwin has you pinned down in a headlock. What cool facts does he tell the audience about you and your habitat? I don't care. He calls me a fucking beaut, and I really needed to hear it.
As long as he doesn't shove his thumb right up my asshole.
I'm getting near this croc, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to shove my thumb right up his ass. Oh, yeah, that's really in there right now. God's angry. Fucking hell, he's pissed off. So, Jane.
Yes.
All good?
Yes.
We're back, guys. Are you enjoying this?
I'm just happy you got the reference.
Things only 90s kids will understand, okay? Are you ready for this?
I like these ones.
Tamagotchis. Pokemon cards. Sony Walkmans. The crushing realization that you're stuck between a generation of people who believe that hard work can accomplish anything and that you should live your dreams, whilst the generation that came immediately after you is living far better by being in the right place at the right time and having the foresight to study in newly developed fields, thus leaving you to tend to your hopeless, demolished expectations and dreams for the future. Hogs.
I remember all of those. Especially that second to last one.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. I also remember the anti-skip feature on a Discman that did absolutely fuck all.
I never got a Discman. I always had Walkman. I remember when I bought my first ever phone in year 9, it was a Motorola brick. I never had Nokia's. I was like, yeah, I've got my brick with the little tiny rectangular screen. So when you text, it would just like go off the edge. You had no idea what you said previous, and you had to like click that arrow button, and it only go once per character. And you're like, they're going, fuck me, here we go. Right, so let's say what I said. The pigeon went fucking hell to market. And I can't be asked to eat.
Like 30 characters. And that
and you had to like push the buttons.
10p.
Yeah, 10p a letter.
10p. God, those
mental. Yeah, it's like 888 for tea. Like,
Mom, can I put 10p on my phone, please?
Mental times, people. Mental times.
Oh yeah, those were the days.
But Jamie,
yes.
When you push a pull door, and the person behind you says, "You need to pull." Oh yeah, cheers, lad. Next plan was to start lifting from the bottom.
I so wish I was so quick-minded and witty to come out with these when people say dumb things. I'm the sort of person that thinks of that about 24 hours later while I'm thinking about it again. I should have said that.
It's quite well, you can say it in future, so you just can't remember.
Because that's the problem right there. You've got to remember it.
And this is very true. Yeah. And you have children, 4 of them to be exact.
Yes, and no memory.
Right. So now we're going to sit here and translate Canadian, okay?
Oh, wait.
Translated Canadian. No, yeah is yes. Yeah, no is no. Yeah, no, for sure, definitely. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm sorry, but unfortunately the answer is yes. No, yeah, no. Oh, no, you've got nothing to worry about.
This is where I'm getting confused now. I was with it at the start, and then if it got on, I was like, I don't understand Canadian.
Braden's going to listen to this and be like, yeah, absolutely, it's correct. Bang on, guys. Absolutely bang on.
Every word. Hey.
Excuse me, sorry, I came back with a cold. I do apologise.
Oh, no.
Hi, guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we're going to do an unboxing video with a shovel in the hand as I enter the graveyard.
The Necromancer channel.
Oh, Jamie.
Amazed someone hasn't done that.
I don't even know what a necromancer is, so I went to the doctor's, all right, and he just asked me a couple of questions. He was like, Doctor, do you exercise? Me, oh yeah, I do all of them. The push-offs, the planks. Doctor, the what? You know, the crunchies. Doctor, okay, I'm going to put no.
The crunchies and the plonks. How long can you hold a plonk?
Oh, my ride was fucking insane. Some guy be like, I need to fix my Camry so I can get to work. And Exhibit was like, okay, well, we turned the trunk into a fish tank.
I remember telling one of the kids, it might have been Harrison, about this show. And I actually, until I showed him, I don't think he believed me that it was a thing.
Really?
It's just
is there the UK version as well?
Yeah, with Tim Westwood.
Oh,
pervy Uncle Tim. But yeah, I would love, you know, they do like those Where Are They Now things. I want a Pimp My Ride version of that show. So, where is this car now? Well, it broke down just after I left the garage. And did they put a swimming pool in the back of one car? I swear they did.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck? It's so... But Americans, like, loved it.
It's fair, I used to watch it all the fucking time. It was incredible to watch.
Oh, it was just a bit too mental for my liking. It's just like, no thanks.
Oh, you like music, so have a DJ set and an amplifier and a guitar and all this in the back.
Yeah, and your own DJ everywhere you go.
But you couldn't use any of it because you're driving the car. There's literally no point in any of it.
It's like the is it Freddy Got Fingered where he changes his dad's car and he calls it like the Slutmobile or something? Is it Freddy Got Fingered?
No, it's not.
It's a Tom Green movie. It's a Tom Green movie where he completely changes the car and his mum has a massive go at him about it. Oh, what movie is it? And he calls it like the Slutmobile and she's like, I am not driving that.
I can't think what film it is.
I can't think what film it is. I have to have a look. I swear it's Tom Green. I swear it's Tom Green. Or it might be, no, it might even be a movie. I think it's just this TV show that he did, the Tom Green show.
Maybe. I didn't watch much of that.
And he changed his, he got his dad or his mum's car, changed to have Slutmobile written on the front and on the sides and stuff like that. And, and she's like, I'm not driving that car. Weird dude. This was written on a community board on Facebook. Hi, my 12-year-old son Dave just lost his drone. He was flying it in the knoll on Saturday when it lost signal and flew off in the general direction of Swansea. Normally, we wouldn't be too bothered about it, but it turns out he put Rachel, my 7-year-old daughter's pet hamster, in as a test pilot, and she's quite upset.
Oh, God, could you imagine? I don't know what noise came out of my face then, by the way, when he said that. I just didn't expect the fucking hamster.
And we're going to end on this little number. The following are real 999 calls made to the Welsh Ambulance Service in the last year. Okay?
Okay.
Hi. I'm not sure whether this is an emergency or not, but I'm really worried about my ingrowing toenail. It's kind of getting a bit red.
Oh, I fucking hate people like this.
They get worse. They get worse. Don't worry.
Oh God.
Hi there. I've cut my finger by accident. I don't think I've got any plasters.
Oh, if there's a headache in here, I'm just committing horrible offence.
One more. Hold on. Hi, my keys have gone. Basically, I've gone out and someone's taken my keys or something. I can't find my keys. I just want to get in. Operator, unfortunately, sir, we don't help with keys to open your door. We're unable to send you an ambulance. Caller, you are shit. I need them to fucking help me with my fucking door, all right?
What?
Yeah. He needs killing. I've got hair dye in my eye and it hurts.
That one I can kind of get. Because, there's chemicals and dye, and getting that in your eye, that could be dangerous. I will give that a pass. That has a pass.
I'm trying to open my house door, but my housemate isn't opening it. It's an emergency because I need to be sick and I need to go to the toilet.
What a moron.
And the last one. Hi there. I'm out of inhalers and I can't last until Monday.
That is not a reason to phone the fucking ambulance service. No wonder they're going on strike. They're just sick of this. Not even to do with pay anymore. They're just sick of idiots.
I was watching an A&E show After Dark on Channel 5 last night. And it's based in Hull, so straight away, like, Jesus Christ. And it's just literally full of homeless people just wanting to try and nick beds and stay there and stuff like that, hurting themselves. And one guy he'd ripped his tendons in his finger and she'd bandage it up and then go away to fill out some form, and he just ripped the bandage off and let it bleed everywhere again.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, she ended up putting this real magic stuff that glues it together to stop it from bleeding, clots it all up. So he couldn't keep saying that he's bleeding everywhere. Kind of sad in a way.
It's sad, yeah.
It just, when you see these people that are in dire need of whatever, but
they have to do extreme things like that just to have a roof over their head. Oh, it's ridiculous.
The world we live in. We live in. But Jamie, that was another edition of Tom's Journal.
And a great edition it was. I enjoyed it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We should definitely bring that piece in, though.
Oh, yes, we definitely should.
Welcome to the Chronicles of Beyond Extinction. Fate of the fitness to witness the mark of deliverance. Ancient shouts of the Creator, thankful vengeance upon you.
Beyond Extinction are a 4-piece deathcore band from the most metal of places, Essex. We are joined by the incredible Beyond Extinction. We are joined by Jude, Bennett, Zach Scott, and Niall Ali. This is a fantastic conversation. These guys are so fucking young, and they are about to release their brand new EP, Nothing More Wretched. It's coming out on 17th of March. We sit and talk to the guys all about the new EP, and it's phenomenal. Like I said, these guys are really young. I'm pretty certain in this, Zach says he's celebrating his 19th birthday. Was it 20th birthday?
It's something mental, yeah.
Yeah. And the fact they've achieved what they are doing right now, the accolades they're getting, the responses they're getting is absolutely amazing. You might not like deathcore music. Let's be honest, it's not everybody's cup of tea, as they say. But you have to admire these guys for the passion they have for their music, the dedication they put into it. And the fact that they say in this interview, when they first started, they were shit, but they did not give up. And they got as good as they can to the point they're touring, they're playing Bloodstock, they're playing with bands like Cancer Bats. And yeah, this is incredible. You are going to enjoy this one, boys and girls.
Yeah, their brand new single, which is the title of the EP, Nothing More Wretched, came out Friday, so make sure you go and check that out. And enjoy this interview. Jamie!
Yes, sir.
Do you have any final words at all?
just a massive thank you to the three boys for joining us, and a massive thank you to our friend Jasmine at the Noise Cartel for setting this one up for us.
Absolutely. Boys, we've had such a great time talking to you. We're so excited to release this. Hopefully everyone enjoys it. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, interviewing this week, it's Beyond Extinction now. Here we go, boys. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your very busy schedules to come and sit with us. We appreciate it massively. So basically, how this works is Jamie's going to do like a really nice introduction. So he's going to lure you into a false sense of security where he's like, this is actually quite a safe space. I quite like it here. And then what's going to happen is we're going to absolutely bombard the living fuck out of you with questions. How does that sound?
I like that.
Perfect. Yeah. I'm not sweating in an interview. It's not intense enough.
Noted. Not sweating enough. Okay. But you're welcome to swear, say what you like. Just obviously don't praise the Nazis or anything like that. As long as we're all good.
Oh, you missed out Taylor Swift. You know we say Nazis or Taylor Swift.
I'll give her a break for a week. So yeah, wonderful. If we're all great, Jamie, you can get us started.
I shall do. Ladies and gentlemen, when you think of Essex, you think of things like Towie, Jamie Oliver, or even its really long coastline. What you don't think is the future of deathcore. Today, we are joined by three incredibly talented musicians from a band that have been described as death metal of the highest order. Now, that's an accolade right there. Here to talk more about their brand new EP, Nothing More Wretched, which releases on the 17th of March. Joining us are Zach Scott, Jude Bennett, and Niall Ali, because these are the Chronicles of Beyond Extinction.
Hey.
Hello. Good evening.
I love it. Such enthusiasm to get us kicked off. It's beautiful. It's like one balloon just rises up. So I'll start. It's probably easier if we go individually. So I'll start with Zach. How have the last few years been, like the pandemic season? On the band, on yourself, etc. How did you have the last few years been?
It's been all right because it came at a kind of good time in terms of the band, because it kind of let us, because before the pandemic we were just playing Essex pretty much, just Essex shows like Chelmsford, Colchester, Southend, Basildon. That was pretty much it. But once it hit and we were just obviously couldn't do shows, couldn't go to shows, couldn't do anything, it kind of gave us a kind of decent amount of time to sit back and look at kind of where we want to go as a band in terms of sound, in terms of the shows we want to be playing, stuff like that. And from that was the writing sessions for the last EP, The Fatal Flaws of Humankind, which was like a night and day kind of step up from what we were doing before, because before that we were like shit. And
sell the product, Zach.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's no hiding it. We were obviously we were like so young as well, so it's fine. But yeah, it did kind of let us have that time to reflect on what we wanted to do and really think about it. And obviously we've released the EP in lockdown, which was very, very weird because we just released all these new songs, couldn't play them because there was no shows. So by the time we started playing the songs, like when lockdown kind of eased up, we were already kind of sick of hearing them because they'd been out for so long. So then we just started kind of writing for the next stuff. But I think overall, obviously, the pandemic was horrific and a terrible thing in general. But just in terms of having the time to do that was a positive thing as a band.
Nice. Niall?
Okay. Yeah, no, I agree, man. 100%. Especially with a bit about our band being shocking before. Oh my really bad. But like, yeah, we were young, and then we took the break. We took the pandemic time to just work on our music. I think at some point we were meeting up like multiple times a week, like constantly, all driving out, getting it working. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Great time for the band actually to work, improve. It's paid off well, I think.
Wonderful. How about for you personally? How was the last couple of years?
Oh, a lot less good. A lot less good. I don't know what it is. Just like, I think the struggle of having to be at home, all these things, new challenges and stuff. Some people react to it better than others, but
yeah,
that's what the music's for, you know. Like we just focus on that, keep positive. Yeah, it's all good.
Absolutely awesome, Jude.
I mean, sort of echoing what Zach and Niall said. It's kind of been wild the last few years. It kind of feels like in a weird way it hasn't happened. Because it was already like 3 years ago, and it's just like, how is that possible? But you know, at times it was nice because we had that time to just sit back and just write riffs, and I was on furlough from my job, so we were just like, well, we haven't got anything else to do, let's just write an EP, because why not? But then there was other times where it just felt like that, that scene from Wallace and Gromit where like he's on the train and he's constantly like laying out the tracks like just in front of the train. It kind of felt like that. But it's been a bit of an interesting time the last few years. But I think we're it's been good. It's been good and bad, but I think we're more going to the good now.
Definitely. Yeah.
Never thought I'd hear a Wallace and Gromit reference like that. That's super. Yeah, amazing. But you're absolutely right, though. It does not feel like it was 3 years ago almost. It's crazy. I was saying this to the wife on the way home from somewhere the other day. Like, to think at one point, none of this was open. Like, all we're just stuck in the house doing nothing. It's crazy. But a question that I like to ask all of our guests, although it feels weird asking you guys this because you're already quite young still. What did you want to be when you were growing up? Was it always music for you, or was it something completely different? An astronaut? I don't know. Niall, what about you?
Yeah, do you know what? It's funny. It's funny you ask that because I was literally having this conversation with Zach like yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think we were saying like we both decided so young that like there's nothing we're quite as good at and we enjoy at the same time as music. So we kind of like narrowed our choices very early. Just took a weird career path into being a musician. Yeah.
Well,
I literally had this conversation yesterday. Zach, what were you saying about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like before I started doing music, because I started properly doing music. Was it like actually playing an instrument when I was like 12, I think. And it's like before that, there was nothing ever that like properly interested me. It is like something that I wanted to do. But then as soon as like I joined the band and stuff like that, as soon as it was started doing that, it was like, this is what I want to do. And that's literally the only thing where I felt like I actually just want to do it for the rest of my life. And I'd be like happy doing it.
That's amazing. What about you, Jude? I get the feeling you're going to go off left course and go, oh, I actually really want to be a rocket scientist.
Yeah, no. No, I suppose the revelation came to me when I was watching Wallace and Gromit. No, sorry. When I was growing up, I never was really involved in anything musical to any extent, really. I mean, my parents weren't really musical or like played anything. They played a lot of music though, and I suppose that sort of planted the seed in my head, which would later grow to sort of being a musician. But I suppose it wasn't until I was maybe 14 and I discovered Slipknot, and I was like, oh my god, bro, this is just the best shit ever, bro. And I bought a guitar because I actually remember thinking, it can't be that hard, like anyone can play this. Like, and I remember getting the guitar and I was just like, this is how clueless I was. I plugged it into the amp just straight, no pedals, no effects, anything. And I was like, man, why doesn't it sound like Slipknot, bro? Where's the heavy tone, bro? So, and then I just sort of kept at it, and from Slipknot, I sort of went on, like when I was in college, like a mate of mine like showed me Bury Tomorrow, and then I got into like metalcore, and then I just went on this whole journey. And I think the best thing you can do as a metalhead is just surround yourself with people who listen to all kinds of different stuff. and all kinds of different metal, because, you know, I've discovered some amazing bands that I would never have really got into without like my bandmates, for example. And even recently, you know, I'm still constantly finding new music and constantly sort of finding these hidden gems that I think more people should know about. So yeah, I was sort of a bit late to the party, but then I just sort of realized in college, I used to want to be a paramedic because I had a lot of first aid like stuff as a kid, and my granddad was quite into like first aid and that kind of stuff. And then I was like, you know what, like, it's not really what I want, it's just what people have sort of suggested that I should do. And I thought, well, what do I actually enjoy? And it was like, well, it's photography and music. And I was like, well, which is the more expensive hobby that will just grind me into dust mentally as the musician it is.
Now, which Slipknot album was it that you got?
Well, I remember seeing the YouTube video for Psychosocial, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. And I think I can't even remember what I first got into. Knowing me, I probably would have just started at the debut album and then just worked my way from there. But I was kind of into like Korn and Disturbed and all that kind of stuff beforehand, and a bit of Deftones, but Slipknot was like the first band I like properly like the first love, you know. And then I was just like, oh, I want to just like grow my hair really long and do all this kind of shit. So I suppose that was my sort of awakening to it.
I love that.
Nice.
Obviously, you say you were listening to Korn and Disturbed and all that stuff, but where did that love for metal music and music come from in general for you to discover those bands?
I think just from what I was played as a kid. I mean, my mum played a lot of like ABBA and Steps, but she also played like some more contemporary stuff. My dad was very much like AC/DC, Metallica type thing. And like one of the earliest things I remember is just like waking up as like a really small kid and just going into my dad's like office, and he was listening to like Black Sabbath, and he was like, oh, come and have a listen to this. And it's that same like filthy bass lines and like really nasty stuff that just kind of, I suppose that was like the prerequisite for getting into metal, because it's not really that much different. And me and Niall were talking about this yesterday, because Niall's a massive drum and bass fan, and we were saying like there's quite a lot of parallels between that and metal, where immersing yourself in just sort of riding that wave. So yeah, I suppose, you know, it came from a few different places, but I suppose I never went for a scene phase or anything. It was just straight from like Skrillex into Slipknot. It was, you know, but we won't talk about that phase.
Nothing wrong with that phase. What about you, Zach? Where did that love for music and metal especially come from?
For me, it was my dad as well, because my dad, he basically just listens to like 70s music. So it's a lot of like on the softer side of things, which I also like as well, but there's nothing to do with metal, like Bob Dylan, Neil Young, like that kind of stuff. But he would also listen to probably like the heaviest band that he like actually liked was AC/DC, and he'd seen them like a couple of times and stuff. So that was the first band that got me into just like rock. And that's like Angus Young was the reason why I got my first guitar when I was, I think, 11. And it was just kind of a steady progression, kind of going chronologically from, you know, the 70s and 80s onwards. And then eventually somehow found my way to like death metal and all that kind of underground stuff now, where it's at the point where kind of I'm listening to a lot of like very specific genres like noise grind or like the early 2000s American hardcore. So very kind of specialized now, but the way I got into it was a very kind of chronological, slowly getting heavier and heavier the more that my ears got adjusted to, you know, that that sound. But I think the tipping point into the more extreme side of things, which is basically all I listen to now, was Rain in Blood, because that I think I got that album when I was 14, and I still listen to it quite a lot because it's just a flawless album, and it just kind of tipped me over the edge into the world that is extreme music.
What I love when you talk to people who listen to like death metal and stuff like that is go, well, I started off here, it was quite normal, and then all of a sudden I just sort of fell into heavier stuff.
Yeah.
No one ever really knows how they got there. They just sort of fell into it.
Yeah, it just happens.
I had a single moment where it all happened, and it was like me and Jasper were hanging out. He was like, "Oh, come to this show." I was like big into Red Hot Chili Peppers and all that, and it was like Asking Alexandria playing with like Parkway Drive headlining, and who was like Stick to Your Guns on the bill, someone else as well. Yeah, and that was my first metal show. I turn up with like the Red Hot Chili Peppers shirt, a cap. I walk out wearing it like a sash, just like limping out of the venue. From that moment on, it was just full metal, nothing else. Like,
that's amazing. That is awesome. But how did you fall into the world of rock and metal in general, Niall? Sorry.
Yeah, well, I guess like when I was, I don't know, maybe like 13, my mate was like, "Oh, do you want to be in a band?" I was like, "I don't play an instrument." It's like, "I play drums, it's easy." Turned out it was pretty easy as well. And like, yeah, then I started chilling with Jasper. He was like, "Man, check out the band Asking Alexandria." And then, yeah, slowly went through all that scene phase, listening to stuff I don't particularly listen to these days. It got heavier and heavier over time.
I love that. Play the drums, it's easy. You're fucking right, you know.
I just feel it, and it's all right. Not too bad.
Where does the name come from? I mean, anyone can take this one. Where does Beyond Extinction, where's the actual name come from itself?
Well, we used to be called Force of Retribution, which was a pretty shit name. So we eventually decided that we needed to change it. And this was on our old like Snapchat group chat that we had. And we were just like bouncing ideas back and forth. I was on the toilet, and this lends proof to the theory that all good ideas come from there. Because then I just said like Beyond Extinction because I thought it sounded cool. I don't know where it came from. It just kind of popped into my head. And they were just like, "Yeah, that's cool. Let's go with that." And we did. So
it's smell, lads. It's Beyond Extinction. They say, "Oh, that's a good fucking good name."
Then again, I suppose Force of Retribution doesn't look good in all the jaggedy, thorny type star writing, does it? That every deathcore death metal band needs. Just out of curiosity, I don't know if you guys, why do bands do that? Why do metal bands go, "I need to make sure this is unreadable as possible," right? It's like nobody knows what we're actually called, but it looks great because they go, "Well, at least I know they're deathcore or death metal or black metal."
I
don't think anyone knows really.
The way I see it, it's like a branding thing. Like if I'm looking at a gig poster and I don't know any of the bands, but I see their logos and it's like that kind of style, I know that I probably will like them. It's the same with like hardcore bands always do the like old English font in their logos. It's like, okay, I'm probably going to like what this band are doing if their logo's like that. Whereas obviously if it's just a name, sometimes it's a little bit ambiguous and it's funny as well. Like,
and then along comes Party Cannon.
Yeah.
So where did you guys actually meet then? Have you known each other for years and years, or did you come together through the band? Or how did you guys meet?
Oh, it's been time actually. Like me and Zach and Jasper as well. We all went to the same school, and Jude's little brother was in my class. So we've all just had like connections for a long time. Actually, I think Jude and Zach had an even longer connection than that. You guys knew each other.
Yeah, that was mad, actually.
That was a coincidence.
Yeah, it's actually mad because Zach grew up in Southend and I grew up in Southend as well. And it wasn't actually until I was in the band and I went round Zach's house that I realised he actually lived legitimately one street away from me. Oh. So, and we just grew up like, and I occasionally went round his house and everything. And I just like, it was just like unlocking a memory when I went round. I was just like, oh my God.
That's awesome. So you knew each other and didn't even realise it, really. That's great.
Yeah, we'd like probably played together or like, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then just forgot, and then just years later, just been like, what is the coincidence of that?
Yeah, it was mad because it was always like, because Leon, like Jude's brother, is closer like to my age than Jude, so I'd always be like closer with him, and my older brother's closer to Jude's age, so it was like they were always like closer, so it was like kind of distant enough, and it was so long ago that I just like forgot. And then my brother told me, he was like, "Do you know who this is?" And I was like, "What do you mean, do I know who this is? He just joined my band." "Yeah, I know who it is." He was like, "No, do you know who this is?" And he explained it. It was just like,
and he pulled up the police report.
So how do you go from being in school together and knowing each other's brothers and whatnot to suddenly going, we're in a band? But how does that come together?
We were like pretty much the only like metal fans in school, so it's kind of out of necessity. Like I think Niall and Jasper had been in the band before me, and I knew Niall through another guy called Niall who used to be in the band, which is where it gets confusing. But so I met him through that, and they just like asked me to come along to a practice. I started playing some like shitty thrash riffs, and they were like, "Whoa, let's do this, man."
Yeah, it was crazy because Zach was literally like 14 years old, and like Jasper was like, I was a year above Zach. Jasper was a year above me, and he was like, "Who have you brought to this practice?" Then we heard him playing. Like that's the first time we're hearing like proper music. Like, the guitar was like, I don't know, nothing like what Zach was doing. Not that thrash stuff. Like we were just listening to Arsky Alexander. He was playing these like fast shredding riffs. It was crazy, man.
So no wonder Zach was saying you guys were shit when you first started because he weren't there.
Yeah, they only got good once I joined. Yeah. No, we were still definitely shit for a long time after I joined.
How does like your writing process work then? Is it a case of, boys, check this out, this is this riff, I've got to lay it down, and then Jas goes, okay, well, I write some notes over that, or has he got songs written already, or is it drums? Like, how does it the actual process go when writing a track?
I suppose it's changed a bit over the years, because the way we used to do it when we were like teenagers was we just book a practice session out, and it would kind of be a practice and a rehearsal / a writing session. And we'd all be like, "Hey guys, we've got this really cool riff. We playing it." And I'm like, "Oh my god, bro, it's so cool!" And we just came up with like a song in like 4 hours. And we're like, "Yeah, we'll play it Friday." And that was kind of how we did it. And we just had all these absolutely dreadful songs that thankfully no one has heard because no one was at the shows. But the way we do it now is that we do actually, it's kind of a bit different. Like most of us live in London now, but I'm like the complete other end of London to Zach and Niall. So the way we do it right now is that we'll come up with a riff, or we'll come up with even like a whole song like individually, and then present it, and then go, okay, let's start up like a bank of ideas. Then we'll come together collaboratively at a later date and go, right, let's pick this song, let's see what we can do to it, let's kind of rewrite it, let's examine it. And I suppose the thing that's changed the most over the years is just our quality control. Our quality control these days is insanely high, because we are all into different things musically. So it's difficult to find that middle ground where we're all happy with like, yeah, this is like a cool like song. So when we kind of write something and everyone's like, yeah, that's quite cool, then we know that we're on something and we can kind of flesh it out a bit more. But we are quite strict with it, you know. If we're not onto a winner, we don't kind of entertain the idea of a song. So yeah, but we just kind of bounce it backwards and forwards collaboratively. The thing we learned with writing the new EP that's coming out soon is that we write best when we're together. And we write best when, you know, Niall and Zach will sit down and go, right, here's a song structure idea. And then Zach will come up with some riffs, and I'll come in and do some spooky shit in the background, and I'll track bass on it and do some extra riffs. And we start piecing it together. Jasper will do some vocals. So that's the kind of way we've been doing it. But as for the future, I'm not really sure. But I'm one thing that is for certain, we'll definitely still be doing it collaboratively, because that's just how we've found is the best way to get the sound we want to achieve.
Yeah.
But you've mentioned how like the stuff you wrote before will hopefully never see the light of day. So according to like your first EP that I found was Dune Strider. How long after forming did that come out then? How long had you been together before you released that?
When did that
come
out?
that came, the June Strider single came out in 2019. I joined the band in, I think, January of 2019, and we released it in late 2019. So I think that was a case where I brought in that song. It was just one of mine that I had like written before, and I was just like, hey guys, this is just a cool song, and their guys were like, yeah, it's not too shit, let's record it. And we just went into the recording studio with Matt, our producer, and we just I think we recorded like 3 different songs, and it was basically just meant to be let's have a listen to these songs. Like it was the first time ever listening to like proper demos, proper like us playing and hearing it back in like some like of a professional way. And we recorded 3 tracks, and the June Strider performance that we did in the studio, we actually thought, you know what, that's good enough to like polish up a bit and just release as a single. So we did it that way for that one, but we've never done it like that before, or after. So
it was quite an interesting release, that, because it was like, it definitely stands out in all our music. I think we've way changed our sound since then. Like it's not even comparable now.
Yeah.
But like when we did that was our first time probably recording in studio, and we also did it all like a live recording. So rather than tracking the drums and then tracking guitars and layering them on top, we just did it all in one and then did vocals after. So I feel like that was like a big point in us learning the whole studio side of everything that's happened since. Yeah, so all 100%. These stuff, if we're not happy with it now, like they've played a big part in what we've ended up as. So it's part of the journey for sure.
So you're always learning. That's the thing. You're always learning and seeing how things work. But obviously, we've spoken to you guys about how the music works. I know he's not here, but when it comes to Jasper and his lyrics, do you know where he gets his inspiration for his lyrics? Is it just something he makes off the top of his head, or are they quite personal to him?
Loads of weed.
Yeah, and he studied politics, so he's full of hatred.
Oh, weed and politics, yeah, perfect for a death metal lyricist, right? That's all you need. Yeah. He's going to listen back to this and be, you bastards.
I mean,
go on, Zach.
Sorry, it's from like, because he just does the lyrics by himself, to be honest, because obviously he doesn't play an instrument, so we do the instrumentals, and he just does like almost all of the lyrics himself. I think now, like especially with the new EP, he because he spoke to us about like his thought process in terms of lyrics and stuff, and he's a very like conceptual writer now. So when we think of what we're doing, like an EP or an album or whatever, he'll first kind of think of a whole concept or a whole theme or whatever it is for the release, then work out different ways to approach it for each song, and then kind of write the lyrics from there. And a lot of the actual, like the writing of the actual lyrics themselves, like the specific words he uses, a lot of it is just down to writing like the coolest sounding lines that have the most impact. And it's like, it's a good way of writing, because it just means kind of when you read the lyrics, it's like very kind of impactful, because every line kind of means something and sounds sick.
I felt that with Apex Predator.
Yes, like
just with actual Apex Predator was fuck when the breakdown kicks in, and I was like, Jesus Christ, that's filthy.
Yeah, it's like sometimes like you kind of come up with a good line or a good song title, and then you're like, all right, shit, I've got to write some like lyrics that mean something based on this line, because it just sounds so cool.
I love that. My favorite thing in heavy music these days is like, I always wonder when a vocalist knows just when the right part of the song is it good to just go bleh, because it's just there's one every song, guaranteed. So, looking at your releases, the upcoming EP is your second EP. Is that right?
Yeah. Technically,
yeah.
It's our third, but we're not going to talk about that.
No, it's our second.
Oh, I feel like there's a story here now. Come on.
That was well before Jude and everything.
Yeah.
Actually, now I think about it, that was our first actual time recording. But this was like, we were like, me and Zach must have been like 15, 16 at the time. So it was that level of skill and everything involved. The producer who did like the best he could, but he was working with like amateurs.
Yeah.
So we kind of took it off, and that's part of the journey, but no one needs to hear that. No one needs to hear that.
Yeah. That's staying locked up in the vault.
Embarrassment is essential to growth.
I like it.
As podcasters, we can agree with that when you listen back to some of our earlier stuff. So we get it. But is there a reason why you've done it this way? We're doing EPs and singles instead of going for a full album?
Money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Money. I also think up until this point that we're at now, we've been on such a journey of like trying to nail down a kind of sound that we're like truly happy with. Like we've done like the Fatal Flaws was much more based on what we're listening to at the time, some of our outside influences. There's a bit of deathcore in there, there's a bit of death metal, there's a bit of thrash. And with the new EP, it was more sort of, let's just not think about the genre, let's not think about anything other than creating a fat riff, and we just wrote it. It wasn't really something we had a talk before we started writing about what we kind of wanted. And it's good to kind of lay down that sort of framework. But other than that, we just sort of let loose on what was inside, really.
I think we did have like a big period of reflection after Fatal Flaws, where we like really analysed, because that was like around like lockdown and COVID and all that, where we were thinking a lot about the band and moving forward. And we just sort of thought like, what do we enjoy doing? What do we do well? Like, what could we do better? And then we just like, when we did this like recent one, the Nothing More Wretched, oh man, it just all came together and it was like, yeah, I think this is the sound for us. There'll be changes again down the line, but this is us. Like,
I think the thing is as well, like if you're in a period where you're kind of uncertain about what you want your sound to be and you're still experimenting and trying to find it, if you do a full length, that's a really big commitment to whatever the sound is at the time. So if you're still kind of between two sounds and you've not really found your kind of identity as a band, it can be kind of damaging because it can make listeners think that that's your sound when in reality that's not really what you want to do. So then for your next release, it'll be different. Some people might not like it. I think an EP is a really good kind of length of time to experiment with sounds and stuff, and because it's not enough to really cement that as who you are as a band. So you can do two very different sounding EPs like we've done. The Fatal Flaws and Nothing More Wretched are very different sonically, but because they're both EPs and not like 40 minutes worth of music each, it's a lot easier to kind of make that transition and not turn people away.
Plus, I think this sort of day and age now as well, a lot of people want it now. So when me and Jamie were growing up, it was like you had to wait 2-3 years for albums and stuff. But now you've got Spotify and you've got all the on-demand sort of stuff and everything. It's like, cool, that was great. What's next? Cool, that was great. What's next? Yeah. So I think doing it as like single and EP releasing rather than a full length is actually quite a genius idea as well, because everyone's like, that was great. What have you got coming out now?
Yeah. It's definitely the industry is definitely now very centered around singles, which I'm not a massive fan of singles. Like usually if like standalone singles, obviously if it's not part of a release, then whatever. But usually nowadays bands will release like, say it's an 8-track album, they release like 4 or 5 as singles. And it's like, for me on a personal listening level, I don't like that because it means I've already heard over half the album. Yeah. So when I'm listening through it on release day, it's not fresh. So most of the time I'll just ignore the singles wait for the album to drop. But we're all kind of slaves to the Spotify algorithm, and the Spotify algorithm really likes singles. So you got to kind of play the game a little bit.
I agree with that, because I often find you listen to an album and the singles that you've already heard end up being your favourite songs because you're just so familiar with them already.
Yeah.
Really, they're probably not the best song on there. It's just because you already know them.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. So let's talk about the new EP, Nothing More Wretched. How excited are you for your fans to hear this for a start?
Very excited.
Yeah.
It's sorry, go on.
I was going to say, because you've all sound so proud of what you've achieved with this EP.
Yeah, I'd say we are. I mean, it's a big achievement for us. I suppose on a personal level and on a sort of level with the music as well, because we went through. I think the EP it's a statement on the change that we've all had as people and musicians in the band, and how the band's changed as well over the last few years, post the Fatal Flaws and all that kind of stuff, getting more familiar with touring, like massively expanding our horizons of like what we listen to and what we appreciate. And I think it's a good sort of statement piece on, okay, this is us, this is what, like, this is everything that we've absorbed from what we've been doing over the last few years, sort of put on a baking tray, put into the oven for however long, and served fresh.
You're speaking really poetically today, man.
I don't know what it is. We just come back from tour and my brain's absolutely scrambled, so God knows where this is coming from. But yeah, exactly. It's either Wallace and Gromit or poetry today, so just take your pick. I can do both.
Please. If we're taking a pick,
like.
What about you, Niall? How excited are you for people to listen to this?
The thing is, like, with the music we're writing, like, it all gives me the feeling that I love when I listen to other people's music. Like, when a breakdown is just like, it makes you want to like curl up inside. Like, I still get that feeling playing the songs today. Like that I'm just so excited to share that.
That's awesome. And you, Zach?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the same. Like, we've been sitting on these songs for a long time, like well over a year now that they've been written, I think, or at least we've been playing most of them for like ages as well. So being able to have it reach so many more people through actually having released it is just great, because I mean the reception to the two singles has been really good so far, and I think it's a very good kind of sign of what's to come in terms of the EP. And I think it's just on a personal level as a musician, the first time I can look back at a release of like more than one song and just be completely happy with it and be like, I'm proud of that. And in 5 years' time, I don't think I'm going to be terribly ashamed about the quality of this album. Like, I think it's the first time that I think personally what I've contributed to is going to age well and is actually good, basically.
You've had quite the meteoric rise in your short stint as a band together, haven't you? I mean, you played Bloodstock New Stage, you've shared the stage with Red Method, you've shared the stage with Our Hollow, Our Home, Cancer Bats, etc. Like, it must be a really crazy feeling to now drop in this new EP coming in March, to have done so much already in such a short space of time.
Yeah, it's interesting actually, but I feel like with all of us, we're always just like keep looking forwards, like what's next, That's just the way we've always looked at it. Every now and then we'll just be like, do you remember when we played Bloodstock? But all these moments, like with Bloodstock or like the Cancer Bats show and everything, like you'll spend weeks and weeks building up, like getting excited, practicing your parts. And then for like 30 minutes on stage, the goes just like that. So you're just always looking at what's next,
I think it's really hard when you're kind of in the band to see, like, to gauge how big you are as a band, because it's just like, to me, these are just like three guys that I've known for like 6 or 7 years, and I've seen them at their absolute lowest. And I've, so I just see them. They're just my friends. I'm just playing music with my friends. And it's very weird to think that, this dumb, heavy music that we're making, other people enjoy it and other people want to listen to it and come see us. So it's, at least for me personally, it's really weird to think of ourselves as a band that, other people actually like pay attention to, but it is mad.
But they are, though. Like Tom said, you've had this amazing rise throughout. Like your Spotify streams are flying up there. Like it's amazing work. But when you put these new singles out, the people that have been following you since the beginning, what was the feedback like from them? And have you had new people go, I've just found this track and you guys are fucking great?
That's the best thing, honestly, is like, because when we released the 2 videos on Slam Worldwide, I'd just be like refreshing it, looking at all the new comments, and there was just loads of people saying like, first time ever hearing this band, like you've got yourself a new fan, stuff like that. People leaving like sick comments, and it's like it's crazy to see people saying that about music we just kind of wrote around each other's houses and in our bedrooms and stuff. But it's really cool to see it, because when you obviously as a musician, you put so much of yourself into the music that you make, and getting like a really positive response from it, from the people that have obviously been following us since 2017, 18. There are a few of them, and new people discovering us as well. Like it's just amazing to see it.
It's difficult sometimes to appreciate when you're in the band doing stuff all the time, just sort of what you've achieved and everything. And I think sometimes it's difficult to not be too hard on yourself and go, okay, well, we've done some cool stuff, but there's no reason to get like complacent. Let's just keep pushing and keep pushing. And I think obviously that is the attitude that we all have, but at the same time, it's important to go, you know what, we actually just did a really good tour. People are really enjoying the songs. Because it's difficult to like exactly what Niall said. Like it's kind of crazy. We sometimes go, yeah, we play Bloodstock, because that was just a little drop in the ocean of like everything that we do in the band. I mean, it's every single day. We just do stuff every single day, and just constantly talking about things and constantly grinding and paying for stuff, and it never really stops. So to sort of have these moments where actually it is all worth it, it's just fantastic. And to everyone who comes out to shows or listens to us, like we're just so grateful, because it just makes everything so worth it.
Everyone's always so hard on themselves, though. We're hard on ourselves when we do stuff like this all the time. I think everybody's their own worst critic every time.
Yeah.
But what I would say to you, Zach, is obviously don't get too immersed in the comments, because obviously there are going to be some wankers out there that are they're keyboard warriors. Yeah,
there's always a couple. I when I see people like there was one comment that just made me laugh on the Eyes of God video, and he was like, so shout out to this guy if he's listening, but he's probably not. But he just said like this song was amazing, really refreshing new death metal up until the final breakdown. Stop trying to copy Lorna Shore, and that was it. And I was like, that was really cool until you said that last bit.
What?
Yeah, I mean, Lorna. I mean, I don't even listen to Lorna Shore, and I wrote the breakdown, so
There was another great one on YouTube a little while ago, which was "Sing, Don't Scream. You sound like everyone else." Which I thought was quite funny.
Yeah. People baffle me sometimes. Yeah. Absolutely. Like,
we find it
okay,
funny.
Good, that's good. It's like, here's my address. Here's a guitar. Crack on. Go on, if you're so fucking, if you obviously know what you're talking about, have a bash. Come on. Obviously, write a better breakdown than me. Go for it.
Yeah.
How was tour? That was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We played with this last one we just played with Winter Hotel, and they're a lot of fun to be around. Just got good experiences. I don't think there was a single bad moment, to be honest. Like, lovely when that happens.
Yeah. I mean, as well. Like last night as well, was with Turbaya Tyrant, and I think we have played with them before, but we couldn't see them at Derby Altfest. So then actually being able to see him this time was sick, because I didn't know what to expect, and they just like blew me
so
away.
Good.
And like Winter Hotel as well, they're so sick, and it's like it's so cool just being able to go to a show, play a 6 set, have people enjoy it, and then you get to watch these like new mates you've just made doing a fucking sick show as well. It's such a good way to discover new bands, obviously making friends with the other band, because we've never been on a tour where we haven't made friends with the other band and continue to do shows with them or just be friends with them in general. And always going to each other's shows, even like months after the tour, like Human Hell, they still come to our shows even though they're not a band anymore, and they're still just like very supportive of us just because of that one tour where they didn't know us beforehand. They just took a chance on us, and that kind of thing is just such a good way of doing things, I think.
That's awesome. And like you say, that's the best way to do it, because if ever a band's in a tight spot, they're like, shit, we need a band to fill in. You're in. They know they can rely on you. They know you're good. They know you bring a crowd. There you go. And it just builds more opportunities for you. And yeah. Amazing. I love that. But speaking of touring and playing, like, are there any particular songs on this EP that you're looking forward to people hearing, whether that be on Spotify or whatever, or live, like you can't wait to play them live?
All of them for different reasons, really. I mean, I suppose with this EP, every single song, there's one section at least where we're all just like, yeah, this is the section. This is the shit, There's the single we're about to release this month, which is the title track of the EP. There's pretty much the whole back half of the song is just one riff, with different like grooves, and it's just so much fun to play live, because you just get to, first of all, for me, playing the riff and feeling like Niall's like double kick just go through me when I'm just playing this riff. I'm just like, oh, it's so good. And then just seeing people like respond in the audience, it's like, yes, this is exactly what we wanted when we wrote this song. And I remember me and Zach writing the end of this song, and we must have played it about 6 or 7 times, just over and over. Just, shall we play it one more time? Yeah, let's play it one more time.
Yeah.
And but it's funny, because we've been playing these songs for a while, we figured out like, okay, there's bits from this song that everyone always responds to. There's that breakdown, like people go like wild for. So hopefully we're going to see the same thing when all the songs come out. But I think I speak for the guys here when I just say that we're just excited for everyone to just hear it all together as one package.
Absolutely, yeah.
Amazing. And speaking of the package as well, the artwork on the EP is fantastic. Who did that?
Evan LaBelle from Human Hell, who I was like, that's what I was saying. Like, we make connections from that tour with him, and he did the artwork for the EP, and it is insane. Like,
he did such a good job.
As well. It's crazy good. Like, I remember when we first got it back, I was just looking at it and I was like, man, that is just so sick. Like, how is that going to be the artwork for our EP? Like, being able to have that art attached to music that is like that I've contributed to, like, that's just crazy. Because it's, Evan, if you're listening, you smashed it, mate.
You really did. It was the first thing I saw when we were reading through like the pack and everything and checking out. I was like, fuck me, that artwork's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But before we start wrapping up, guys, if there's anyone listening to this who, they like the sound of Beyond Extinction, they like the cut of your jib, as we like to say, is there any particular track or two from your guys' back catalogue that you would encourage people to go check out to get a feel of what you do? That's like asking someone to pick a favourite child. Yeah.
Of stuff that's released now, I would have to say Gravedigger, just because that song just, I love it. Like it never gets old playing it, never gets old listening to it. Like I think it's like the best song that we've released, to be honest.
I think it just hits a bit different from the others as well. Like they all hit hard in a different way, but that one is like on its own.
Yeah,
it's hard to explain. You got to listen to it.
It's got that something, hasn't it?
It sort of it fits the brief of writing it and listening to it, being like, okay, we want to write a song that's like the equivalent of being hit in the head with like a frying pan. Like that's where we're at, and I think Gravedigger really delivers that, because you hear that intro and then it goes quiet and then it's just bang, the frying pan hits, and you just, the last thing you remember is just the word Teflon, and then you're just out.
That needs to be said on stage now. This is our next song. It's like being hit with a frying pan.
We'll get Jasper to say that.
I just want to go back to obviously when you did Fatal Flaws during the pandemic, like being in the studio, because I watched the video. Was that really weird? Is it kind of a different vibe, obviously, because did you have to be in the room individually and that sort of thing? You had to wear masks all the time, I saw as well. So obviously compared to when you did the new EP, that must have been quite a weird experience.
Yeah, it was slightly strange. It's difficult as it is to communicate in the studio sometimes with all the thick glass and everything. So
yeah,
trying to communicate in sort of wild hand gestures to Matt, because you can't hear you through the mask. Just like how does he communicate? You're not in tune, you dickhead. Through the glass, it's difficult, but no, in all seriousness, it was hard. I remember because I was handling the demos for it at that point, I went to all of the recording sessions just as like the quality control person, and just to make sure that everything was like going smoothly. So it was weird because usually we'd all be in the studio, or a lot of us would be in the studio and checking out bits and that, but it was difficult. Like with the Fatal Flaws, we hadn't recorded a proper EP at that point. So being in the studio like over a certain number of days instead of just having one day where we just do instrument by instrument was difficult as it was, and it was interesting. But yeah, it was a strange time, and we were glad when we went into the studio to record Nothing More Wretched, because it was just like it's nice to get back to normal,
Mm. I also saw that somebody drank a whole 6-pack of J2O. Who was that?
Me.
First of all, what flavour?
Apple and mango.
Oh, excellent choice. Did you not feel what all 6 in one go, or was it over a period of time?
I mean, you're slaving over the guitar. I mean, what can I say? It gets hot. You got to keep your hydration levels up. And it just helps, just a couple of bottles just to sharpen the mind, for the riffs at hand, So everyone thinks it's strange behaviour, but you got to do what you got to do to squeeze the riffs out,
Because I thought they would have been new now, to be quite honest with you, with your, thrusting yourself around everywhere, smashing anything that's in sight.
And you know what? I got a much unhealthier habit of banging like energy drinks. Like if I was on J2O, I'd be much better off for it.
That probably helps, doesn't it? Especially with the double kick pedal, everything else you got going on. I suppose a Monster or Relentless is, gets you right going.
It helps, but then every now and then I'll just feel like, man, that's not healthy what I just drank. Like I can see all the cans like building up in the corner of my room. It's not good. Can't be surely.
My piss is a luminous green. This can't be right.
It's got to be the energy, surely.
What's your beverage of choice, Zach? What's a beverage of choice when playing, recording, or at shows?
I am the same. I am a fiend for a Monster. Like at shows, I don't drink before I play because I'm a massive lightweight. So yeah, so I'll save my drinking for after the show. But before that, it will just be energy drinks and fags. That's all day.
I'd be too scared to drink generally before a show, because knowing my luck, I'd be halfway through a set, like, I really need to piss.
Yeah,
I literally did that last night at the show. We were 10 minutes like So I think I ate something dodgy earlier in the day as well. Because we were right. I'll tell you what, it was a Spoon's breakfast that done me in, to be fair.
Well, I fucking told you. I told you.
I know. It was delicious, all right? I paid the price, but it was delicious. But yeah, it was 10 minutes until we were on, and I just turned to Jasper and I was like, man, I need a toilet like I've never needed a toilet before. And he was like, fucking hurry up then. I was just like, okay, I'm all ready. I'll just be a second. And oh my God, I felt, I was basically played last night, like trying not to throw up. But you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Playing it all at times 10. Just smash through it, lads. Just fucking get through it.
No, I was like, fuck, I can't keep up.
A question I like to ask every band that we speak to. I know I think I only found the one, but music video wise, and this is making them not the finished product. Love them or hate them?
Love it. It's so fun.
Love it, really.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the music videos we've done in the past have just been the sort of the usual metal trope of a couple of lads performing in some sort of variety of shithole building or scene where it's all like grungy and but I had a bit of a different experience because myself and a good friend of mine, Dylan, we decided for Gravedigger to do something different where we'd never done it before. We just had this idea that we came up with for the music video, and we just planned it for hours and hours and hours. And we just decided that we were going to do this music video with no budget. I mean, legitimately no budget. I mean, we had like a bag of crisps for some extras that turned up, and that was it pretty much. And the rest of it was just getting up at like 5:30 in the morning to film at sunrise down Southend seafront, or going to this location to just film at night, or yeah. I mean, my mate Dylan literally got like hosed down in the garden for the music video where it was like freezing. And we just filmed it over a period of about 6 months, and I edited it and put it together, and he did all like the color grading and stuff. So it's basically just me and him doing this music video, and it actually turned out pretty well. So that was a kind of, because I just wanted a first music video for us that wasn't just us performing. It was something extra, it was something different. I think the story of the EP was so good that we couldn't not put it into a music video somehow.
Nice. Absolutely. I mean, did you ever get any people walking by going, "The fuck is he? What's going on here?"
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we had that when it was kind of suspicious because there was me filming him, and for the music video, he grew his hair and beard out like really long. So it was just this guy who looked like he was on drugs, carrying this massive shovel around with this guy filming him with it like in this trench coat, and just it must have looked really suspicious. We did get quite a lot of funny looks when we recorded the actual like performance part of it, because we did it in Shoebury-Ness in Southend in Essex, and it's in this old like artillery, I don't know what you'd call it, where they put the artillery gun back from when it was like an active like World War II base. So we just kind of
what it looks like a fort, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of like a ring type thing, but like it goes down quite a bit. And we just filmed it in that, and there's like a public footpath like either side of it. And so there was all of us like in there, like just headbanging and like going absolutely crazy. Niall smashing the shit out of the drums, you could hear it for miles. And there's just this elderly couple just like, what the hell? Like just walking past like with their little Jack Russell and just seeing these guys, like it must have been strange.
It must have been so funny as well, because like you couldn't hear any instruments other than the drums. Like they were obviously just like miming. They must have looked like idiots just jumping around like air guitar.
Phenomenal. I love it. What I was going to say, guys, this has been so much fun. Tom, have you got any more questions before we start wrapping up?
I do. I have two more. Is that okay?
Go for it. Sorry.
Well, one's not much the question, but you've got a show on the 16th at Blondie's. Is that correct? That sold out in less than a week. Is that correct?
Not quite.
New Cross.
Yeah.
It's where?
Is this the upcoming show or the one we did?
The upcoming one. I got February 16th.
No, that's.
Have I been misled? I will go back to. I tell you what, Noise Cartel, I'm coming for you.
Yeah. We did Blondie's. That was last month. Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's it for January, I think.
It's all right.
They put February in the press list. I'm gonna, let's not take this apart. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, it's not let him get away with this.
That's fine. What we'll do is we'll just ignore that completely. And when obviously the band began, when you decided to, when you started out, was it Force of Retribution you recorded originally?
Yeah.
Did you ever think that by this point now, here in 2023, that you would have played Bloodstock, played with Cancer Bats, have to, an EP coming out, etc., and have the fan base that you do?
No,
I never even thought about it. It's like if someone, I remember the first point we kind of had that thought was, man, I can't remember what the release was, but we got a figure on Spotify saying, hey, someone's listening to your song in the USA, and in LA or something. Oh no, it was a video that came up on YouTube. Someone was banging it in the gym, playing it through the public speakers.
Yeah.
And we were if someone said to us when we started the band, that is going to be the peak of your career, I would have taken that. I'd have been like, hell yeah, someone in LA playing our music.
Yeah.
Incredible. What's next for you guys? What's that you can talk about? Obviously, then the EP's that's the 17th of March. But what's the 2023 plan? What's it looking like?
I think the next big thing, other than we've got another single, but kind of the big thing we're looking forward to right now is the release tour, which is in March. So 16th to the 18th, then 24th to the 23rd to the 25th, something like that. So those 2 weeks, and that's going to be really fun because it's, thankfully for me, we're playing a hometown show in Southend on my 20th birthday. So I'm planning on getting absolutely fucked up for that.
And it'll cost you absolutely nothing.
Exactly.
2 drinks done.
I'd say a Smirnoff Ice and easy anybody's. I've just clicked on the fact you said it on your 20th birthday. The fact you're 19 and you've achieved all this is insane to me.
It's incredible.
Thank you.
It's amazing. But that goes to show how much more you guys can achieve because you're still so young. You've got this great fan base already. The sky's the limit, guys. Sky's the limit.
We're not slowing down at any time. We're just going to constantly be on it. I think this year, I feel like we're going to get a good reception for the EP. I feel like people are going to enjoy it, and it's going to kind of spur us on to go further. I mean, we're already looking at writing new material, and we're already getting some ideas together. So who knows what's going to come out of this year, and who knows especially what's going to come out of next year once we've potentially got new music together and got new ideas and all that kind of stuff. But I'm very excited, and it's just let's see how far we can push this.
Yeah,
I'm excited for you guys. I think you're gonna just take off and fly, just run with it. Fucking do, like you say, just don't slow down, just keep going, because who knows? Who fucking knows what could happen 5-10 years down the line? So I think you'll be up there, the big boys headlining Bloodstock and whatnot in about 5-10 years or so.
I hope so, man.
That'll bang.
I really hope so.
Yeah, it's coming. We'll talk again in 5 years' time, and
that'll be too big for us then. Before we let you guys get out of here, have you got any plugs, social medias, websites, whatever it is you want people to go check out?
I mean, all tickets and everything is on our website. Nice and a professional looking website as well. So beyondextinctionuk.com. But all our stuff's on there. So tickets and emails and shit like that, it's all there.
Yeah, I mean, follow us on social media because we're always coming out with new content and sort of new show announcements and all that good stuff. So just keep your eyes peeled because you never know what we might be coming out with.
Phenomenal.
Wonderful, boys. This has been great. Really, really enjoyed this very, very much. Thank you so much for taking the time out. I know now you're not even at home, so appreciate that. Appreciate that massively. Boys, it's been fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us, man.
No worries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Boys, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for taking the time out. All the best with the EP release in March. We'll be shouting about it on the show.
Yeah,
thank you, guys. It's been fun.
Appreciate it, guys.
Welcome.
Cheers.
Thank you very
Look
much,
after
guys.
yourselves. Take care. See you later.
Cheers. See ya. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Absolutely phenomenal. Like, these guys are so inspirational. As I said, the fact they're doing what they're doing at so young is absolutely amazing. And the pride they have in their music, I love this. If you're out there and you are a creator, no matter what you do, have pride in what you do. Shout it from the fucking rooftops because people will listen and you will get that following you deserve. Yeah, amazing. Absolutely love this one.
100% agreed. Guys, thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. We absolutely love talking to you. And massive thank you to Jasmine again at the Noise Cartel. And we really hope that you guys enjoy listening to it as much as we did recording it.
It's about getting into schools and talking to young people because, you know, I know that people can change. And it's about talking to people and getting them to understand and perhaps step back from violence and prejudice and whatever. And we just need to work together and keep on the good fight there.
Absolutely. Hey there, guys. We are ecstatically happy to announce that we are associated with the Sophie Lancaster Foundation.
The times are changing, and with the unfortunate death of Sophie, those changes have made a massive impact for the future. If Sophie was with us still today, I can guarantee what you are doing will still be reaching so many lives of young teenagers, young adults, and those who wish to be as different as possible. So thank you very much.
To find out more about this incredible foundation and all the work they do, and more importantly, how you can help, head on over to www.sophielancasterfoundation.com. Mr. Stevens.
Hiya.
It's audience participation time.
Let's get to it, bitch.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to participate in Jamie's participation challenge. This week, I said, inspired by Tom's trip to New York, seeing some of the sights and sets of Hollywood classics this week, we ask, what movie or TV set/location would you like to visit if you could? What say you, Mr. Stevens?
Well, when I was away, I saw Home Alone 2. I saw in Central Park the bridge where he gives the doves to Piers Morgan. I saw the elf scene with the snowball fight. I stood on the little round thing in Central Park when Thor takes Loki back to Asgard in the very first Avengers movie at the end.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah. So that was kind of cool. And I went to Grand Central as well.
You went to Grand Central, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to Grand Central and saw the where obviously the fight takes place in there as well and that sort of thing. Yeah. And Avengers Tower was right behind it. So yeah, it's cool.
That's so fucking cool. And, I love it. Have you been to any, like, outside of your trip to New York for adventures? Was there any you'd like to go to?
Fucking hell. I tried to get to HBO Studios to go see John Oliver's studio, but alas, that wasn't really a tour kind of thing. Yeah. So off the top of my head, not really. Yeah. I've seen the countdown clock. Was that a thing?
Counts.
It was literally just sat on the floor when I went to John Bishop's Brewing. Excuse me, back in 2010. It was just a massive countdown clock that just sat on a thing. And I was like, that's cool.
Random place for that to be. That's awesome. Regarding location-wise, I've been to Gloucester Cathedral where they filmed a good chunk of the Harry Potter stuff in the first two movies. And also been to Harry Potter Worlds, a load of the sets and stuff like that there. But where I really want to go to, there's one main place that is Mecca for me. And that is the Quick Stop in New Jersey where Clerks was filmed, where like it's everything Kevin Smith related goes through the Quick Stop in New Jersey. That I'm desperate to go to. That is a bucket list for me to go there. That is the one for me. I really, really, really want to go there. But yeah, let's get some audience answers, shall we? Zara Lavender, she says, I've been to the Coronation Street set in Manchester with my mum, which was really good. Really nostalgic, having watched it years ago. Was definitely hungover though. I mean, like really badly hungover. And I'd like to visit the Call the Midwife set because it's my favourite show.
Nice.
Fair play. Becky Westwood with an answer I didn't expect anyone to ever say. The set from Jaws. I can't work out if she wants to go to a quaint fishing village or she just wants to go in the ocean and swim with sharks.
I don't even know where that was filmed.
No, Norma. I'm going to hope it's the village one because it'd be a bit weird if she wanted to go swim with sharks.
Oh, fair.
Yeah. Lisa Clemens. This I'm so jealous of. Said the mansion used for the Rocky Horror Picture Show. It has such a cool looking building. Oh, I'd love to go to that. Jerry O'Keefe? Jerry Keane?
Jerry Keane, yeah.
Yes, I finally got it. This, again, I'm very, very jealous of. I visited the edge of the Sahara Desert whilst I was in Tunisia, and this is where a young rapscallion named George Lucas filmed some scenes as Tatooine for a little unknown project he was working on called Star Wars. I think it did okay for him.
Yeah,
I think it did all right. Yeah, I think I've heard of that little thing. Deborah Harvey. I would love to visit Hobbiton. I've no idea where that part of the movie was constructed, but I know much of it was filmed in New Zealand. I think that's a play. I think all Lord of the Rings fans just want to go to New Zealand to find their sets for that. And Laurie Jean has the exact same answer, pretty much. New Zealand for the Lord of the Rings Shire set on my bucket list. What have we got? What else have we got? Simon Mitchell says the Expanse TV show set as it's one of my favourite book series and TV shows based on said books ever. I'll be honest, Mitch, I don't think I've ever heard of the Expanse.
It's based in space.
Well, that'd be a weird
it's
setting,
on Amazon Prime, I think.
Oh.
It's available somewhere. Helen and Jasper absolutely love that show as well. So
there we are. I'm assuming you don't want to go to space, just to film where it's filmed here. Matt Rose says Kattegat from Vikings, which is actually fairly doable as it was filmed in Ireland. There you go.
Oh, nice.
Up on over. Ireland's had loads. Like all of Game of Thrones was filmed in Ireland as well, wasn't it? There's quite a lot you can go there. And last but not least, we didn't get many this week. Ruby Goodwin, she says, a filming location. I really want to go to the filming location to Father Ted. Oh, wait, I am. My sister brought me tickets for my birthday.
Amazing.
That would be absolutely awesome. And she says, I've also been to some of the Jurassic Park locations in Hawaii too. Very pretty.
Wow.
Fucking awesome too. There's so many.
That's cool. Hawaii, man, just in general. That's incredible.
I think
thank you. Go on.
I was going to say, I think someone said that not far from here is where the mansion they use for Wayne Manor in the Christian Bale Batman movies is. So that'd be pretty cool to go to as well.
That's yeah. If you enjoyed James' participation challenge, Tom's journal, Callum's Treachings, all the stuff we talked about at the beginning on the interview, then you enjoyed the other 74 editions of the Chronicles of Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts from, whether it be Spotify, Google, Apple, etc. We're also on YouTube at the Chronicles of Podcast. Make sure you hit that bell, hit the subscribe button, and comment as much as you like. It'd be grand. Thank you so much. You can find all our Way Back Wednesdays on there. You can find all of our Bloodstock interviews on there and our vlogs of Dublin Crust and of Bloodstock. Dublin Crust has just been announced that it's going to be in the cinemas this year. So make sure you go out and watch that little bad boy. It's fucking incredible. I'm not going to lie to you. You can also find us on the Facebook at the Chronicles of Podcast. Make sure you like that. Give us a little share. That'd be grand. Jamie, where can you find us?
Oh, where can we find us? We can find us going onto Spotify and subscribing to Beyond Extinction and waiting for that Nothing More Wretched EP to come out very, very soon.
You could definitely do that and find us on the Twitter at TCO Pod. Jamie, as well as doing that, where else could you find us?
You could find yourself sitting there listening to Tom go on about the fact that he was in New York. Did you know he was in New York last week? I bet he didn't. No idea.
Absolutely. On the Instagram at TCO Pod. You can also find us on TikTok at TCO Pod, LinkedIn at the Chronicles of Podcast, or our website at www.thechroniclesofpodcast.com. We're everywhere, guys. Just fucking subscribe, all right? Just do it. Just listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying and go out and do it. It would be very, very much appreciated.
It really, really would. Shall we say thank you to a few of our friends?
Go for it.
First off, let's say thank you to the man who provides every single piece of music you hear on this show, Mr. Singer-songwriter Matt Roberts. Go check him out on all the social medias at Matt Roberts Music. Make sure you follow him on the old Spotify and wherever you get your music from, ready for new music to be dropped very, very soon. And of course, we heard from him earlier, Mr. Stay Cozy Clothing himself, Braden Barry. Head on over to www.staycozyclothing.com. Add whatever you like the look of to your basket, including that sexy little t-shirt cap combo that Mr. Stevens has got going there. And of course, the Sophie Lancaster Foundation collaborative t-shirt. Add those to your basket and whatever else you'd like the look of. Add that discount code, The Chronicles, and get yourself 10% off your order. A little gift from these guys to you. And last but not least, it is, of course, the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, stamping out prejudice, hatred, and intolerance everywhere. We spread that message every single week because it means the world to us, that people be treated with respect, with decency, and just allowed to be who they are. No matter what they are, whether they are alternative or not, you should feel free and feel safe to be yourself in this world. Since we last spoke, another goddamn tragedy in this world has happened because someone wanted to be themselves. Where a beautiful 16-year-old girl, Brianna J., her life was taken from her simply because she was trans. That is literally it. Because she was being herself, she was feeling free to be herself in this world, and she was punished for that. It is absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that it's still happening today, it baffles my mind. I literally cannot wrap my head around the fact that this happens in this world. But head on over to SophieLancasterFoundation.com, click on hate crime, and there is a questionnaire that I want you all to fill in. If you have ever been treated differently because of the way you dress, the music you listen to, the way you act, however you express yourself, we need this information because it is a hate crime. No matter how you put over bells and whistles you put on it, if you're treated differently because you are from the alternative subculture, it is a hate crime, and we need as much evidence as we can to show to the courts to prove this. Like I said, the fact people are being treated differently for wanting to be who they are in 2023 is absolutely disgusting and ridiculous. And, we need justice for people like Sophie, for people like Brianna. So please help us share that message. Good friend of a show, Mally Malpass, has done an amazing thing in light of what's happened to Brianna. If you go over to his social media pages, he's set up a little merch page, and every single bit of merch he sells now, 100% of his profits are going to Mermaids, which is an amazing charity set up to protect trans kids. Please, if you have a couple of pennies, support the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, support Mally and what he's doing for Mermaids. It would mean the absolute world to us, and we cannot wait to see what we are doing with these guys in 2023. So please help us spread that message of equality and being together, because we're all the fucking same at the end of the day. I got very passionate.
I like it.
Thank you to this handsome devil over here who I've missed so much.
And thank you to you too, my friend. It's been glorious. Another decent episode smashed in that bag there. That's how we get it in. Is that how you smash it into the bag? Is that how you...
Pummeling it in like a sleeping bag.
Oh, okay. You went sideways first, so I thought you were like trying to punch someone in the face.
I'm trying to keep in the camera angle.
Okay, fair. No, that's fair enough. Jamie, another glorious episode, sir.
Another glorious episode indeed, my friend.
Wonderful. Beyond Extinction, thank you, boys, so much for coming on the show. We absolutely love talking to you. And a big thank you to Jasmine again for setting the interview up. But as Jamie, as for this week right here, we'll see you all next week.
Goodbye, everybody.